Do you feel like people are awkward around the topic? Like, do you feel like people are scared to bring up the fact of your like leg and sort of chat about it? Do you feel like people are like tiptoe around the topic? Is that more
Tiptoe.
awkward?
I'm
Yeah.
joking. I don't want to make you feel awkward. I think a lot of people will see me just being like really open about it and stuff. So a lot of them will just like come to me. They'll see me making a joke or whatever, and then they'll like start making like leg jokes and stuff too. But I absolutely traumatized my friend's wee sister one time. I made like a leg joke or a cancer joke or something like that anyway. And then she like said something to me, or like she made fun of my leg, I think it was, like then after me, because I had just done it 2 seconds before. And I was like, are you serious? Like I lost my leg because of cancer.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Here's the Craic podcast. We've got another podcast, another guest. That's one thing I meant to ask you before we started this. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get sorted now. Your second name, Bernadette, is it Hagans or Hagans, or like how do you?
The first way, Hagans.
Hagans, right.
Everyone usually automatically says Hagans, so I can't believe you even
Yeah.
said it.
I was reading it and I was like, I need to ask her before I start this, because there was like 2 podcasts ago I couldn't pronounce, I think it was Jennifer's second name or something. And I was like, oh, so welcome back to the podcast. Do you want to explain a bit about yourself? And like completely bypass her name. But anyway, Bernadette Hagans is on the podcast today. Has very kindly agreed to come on. I think the best way to start is how we normally start. So just explain a bit about yourself, like who you are, introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Bernadette Hagans, and I'm 24 and I'm from Belfast. I've got a metal leg, I suppose. It's like usually the main thing, kicking it off. Pun.
Is
Okay,
that
I'm sorry. Okay.
is that how you normally like introduce yourself? As just
No, people always be like, start off with your career and stuff, but then I'm always like having to say like model and stuff. My face goes red.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you know, like, do you normally just get that? Because that's one thing we were talking about before this. Is like we wanted you to introduce yourself and stuff, and then obviously get onto that part where you just like, right, we'll just cut straight to the chase here. Like this is the scores and the doors, or yeah. But I think the best place to start is obviously on that topic. You are well known in Northern Ireland and probably further afield for your modelling and stuff. And obviously a major part of your story is your cancer and your leg getting amputated. Do you want to explain a bit about that and a bit of background about that and just how that all happened?
Yeah, so I think it was like 2017. And then that's whenever I first started like noticing symptoms. And then I started going, well, I left it a few months. And then I remember like starting to feel like a lump. And at that stage, that's whenever I was like, right, I'm going to get this checked. So then I was going to my GP maybe for about 5 or 6 months before they would send me for a scan. And then by that stage, I got like red flagged. So then I was just sent for like different scans and stuff. And then it's crazy because my results went missing for like a few weeks. And no one really knows this, but it's so mad to think about. So when my results went, was it before this? No, okay. So my results went missing for a wee while, and then I got a random phone call that was like unwithheld, and they rang me and were like, yeah, you've got a tumor, you have to come in for a biopsy. And I was like, okay. But then it was like, this is crazy. So I remember just being like, okay, I want to find out what's actually happening with me. And I found out the doctor that was overseeing me, and I Googled him. And then I found out that he was a sarcoma surgeon. So then I was like, all right, okay, I've got sarcoma. So I knew like definitely what was happening with me. And then in August of 2018, I got diagnosed with synovial sarcoma. And that's like an aggressive, rare kind of cancer. And yeah, by the time mine was found, it got like wrapped in with my nerves, my blood vessels. So it meant they were going to have to amputate.
What was that like when you first found out, like how difficult was that to hear, or did you sort of like from doing research sort of have like, I suppose, could you ever really know, but did you sort of have a feeling that that was what was going to happen?
Yeah, I felt like I knew what it was. It's so crazy because like, see, majority of the people that I've met that have had cancer, everyone sort of like knows before they find out. So for me, it was just like confirming it.
Yeah.
I was just happy I finally got an answer.
Do you feel like you were sort of saying there, like you found a lump and you have to keep going back? Did you feel like when you found the lump, you sort of knew yourself and you were sort of just like hoping you were just going to get sent for a scan, or?
I felt like I knew, but I just wanted my doctors to listen to me, and they just wouldn't at the time. So I was just like, when I finally got sent for a scan, I was like, yes, someone's taking me serious.
What?
So yeah, it was like a weight off my shoulders,
Yeah.
like in a wee way.
Why did you feel like they didn't listen to you? Like, did they just think you because you were young?
I think so. Because even whenever I found out then that I had cancer and stuff, was it a cancer? No, it wasn't. I knew I had a tumor, and I went to my doctor and I was like, "Can I have painkillers now that you know that I actually have something like wrong with me? And can I have something to stop the swelling? Because my leg was starting to like fill with fluid after my biopsy. Just so weird to think about. But I remember whenever in my old job I used to have to wear like black skinny jeans. And my leg was swelling so much it was like swelling under the skinny jeans. That sounds so disgusting. But it was like swelling so much, and I was like, "Can I have painkillers and like demi tights that stop the swelling?" And I remember like the doctors like looked me up and down and was like, "Nah, I think your skinny jeans are tight enough," as if like there was something wrong with me. I was like, so no, they
My
just like keep me
gosh.
serious at all. I know, crazy.
Was
That's
that
mad.
Was that a real frustrating time then, like having to deal with the doctors like that, where you just sort of like fed up, really?
Yeah, sort of. Well, I feel so bad. I feel like I'm talking shit.
You're right.
It's just the truth. So sort of with my GP, but like my actual doctors, like my surgeon, my oncologist, and stuff like that, they're all amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you feel like whenever I was kind of reading a bit into your story, you do sort of say that did you go through that for sort of initial part alone, like the whole lead up to that? Like I read a bit about how you were a bit wary about like keeping it from your family and stuff. Like what was that process like? Was that an easy enough decision to make, or was it?
Sort of, yeah. Like, for me, I know that I can like handle things by myself, but I think I literally think maybe when I think back about it, I think like that whole thing with my GP, I'm like losing my voice. Can you tell?
No.
But yeah, like I think like that whole thing with my GP maybe added to it because I was like, I don't want to like complain in case this is all in my head and stuff like that. So because they weren't taking me serious, I was like, oh, maybe like they're right as well. So it was a weird one. But yeah, I'm glad that I kind of did keep it to myself because it meant then I had time to like deal with it. And then whenever I knew like what exactly was happening, then I told people then, and it was a lot easier then because I could help them cope instead as well.
How did people initially react once you like told them for the first time? Were they shocked or?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of my own fault because I kind of like told people in like weird ways. Like I walked into like my parents' house or whatever, and I went in and they were sitting watching like The Chase or something, and I come in with like this wee card and had like my nurse, and it's, on the back of it she wrote my type of cancer, and on the front of it it's like Friends of the Cancer Centre. And then I walked in and I was like making jokes and stuff about The Chase, and they were sitting there like happy, like laughing and stuff. And then I just passed over a wee card, and they were like, "What is this?" I was like, "I've got cancer." And they were like, "What?" So yeah, I think it was my own fault, kind of the way that I did it. But my mummy sort of, she got angry because she knew that I was in pain and that I was going to my doctors about something and that they weren't listening. But my
Yeah.
dad was like, no, it's like it's a mistake. Like they'll do extra tests. Like there'll be nothing wrong with it. Like it's okay. And I was like, no, they're cutting off my leg. And they were like, what? And then they're like, I remember it's so weird. I remember the time they were just like, let's go get a Subway. Stuff like that was going to suddenly want to heal me or something like. But yeah, I kind of
Subway
like
will make it all okay.
crazy. Even with my best friends, I remember when I told them, I was like, just want to go a drive. And I remember I was in like the Starbucks drive-thru, and I think I was like, right, just want like hot chocolate or something. And then we were talking about or whatever, like something or whatever, and I was like, oh, by the way, like I've got cancer. And they were just like,
Just shocked.
Man.
yeah.
I suppose there's no real right way of telling someone something like that. Huh?
No, but I just remember being like, I just want to like get it out instead of being like, oh my god, I've got cancer.
Did you feel like the fact that you knew, like you pretty much came to them with like, instead of, obviously I feel like it would have been a different story if you were coming to them being like, I have cancer, and then it stops there, as opposed to you were coming to them and saying, I have cancer, however, obviously I'm going to have to get my leg amputated, but there's a, you know, there, no matter how drastic, there's a solution. If that makes any sense, there's a solution there.
Yeah.
But then I suppose for a parent, like where a parent's job is kind of like almost like taking care of their kid and like controlling the outcome. where like they're probably sitting there going like, this is something I have no control over.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I'd say that probably freaked them out.
Yeah, because like they were so shocked at stuff that I didn't come to them as well. They were like, why didn't you just tell us? We could have been like helping and all this here or whatever. But I don't know, because the way that I kind of seen it as well, it was like I can make jokes about it and stuff, and I can control how I feel, but I can't control how other people handle it. So I was just kind of like, okay, if I can show them that I'm okay with it, then it'll make it easier. Because if I was there like crying and stuff, then they probably would take it way worse.
Yeah.
Is there a way you'd like people to react to it? Like, in an ideal world, like how would you like people to react whenever you told them? Or
I just didn't want like a big deal made out of it, I think, for me. But it's like different for other people, because like I know some people that really needed like that support, like, getting through it and everything, whereas I was just kind of like, right, got cancer, can we drop, like, what do you want in your hot chocolate? Like, I was just like, let's just move past it. So yeah, I just didn't want to like dwell on it. So, like, get down with it. Like,
but one thing that really strikes me is the fact that, like, obviously you were coming with all these I want to say symptoms, but like all these signs, which, to be frank, like a normal person, like it doesn't take anybody with a doctor's like certificate, whatever the frig you want to call it, to be like, right, there's something wrong here. Like you're a 22-year-old girl with a lump and a sore leg, like that. It's not as if you've like banged it off the coffee table and it's like, right here, brush that off. But like that's the only thing that, for like, I don't even like know you that well, but for me that frustrates me, because it's like you could have literally just been like, okay, cheers, thanks, bye, and then because of what you're saying, it was quite an aggressive form of cancer, like that could have ended completely differently.
100%. If I didn't keep like pushing to be seen, then I probably might not even be here. It's crazy, because there was another girl through like an organization that I do stuff with here, and she was the exact same age as me, the exact same type of cancer, which is crazy because there's like, I don't really know anybody with the same kind, but she was from here and she had the same kind, and she had to get her leg amputated as well, and I think hers was found just a wee bit after mine, and she's not here today. So it's like, I'm really lucky and everything, but I think it goes to show like some GPs need to like take their patients more seriously.
Yeah.
But like it's not really the first time you've heard of like something like that happening, where like someone's found a lump and went back to the doctor and they've just been like, oh no, it's just whatever, and sent them away.
Yeah.
And then further down the line, it's like, if that would have just been caught there and then.
Right, Tim, it's crazy.
But I suppose moving on from that, like, what was it like then? Obviously getting your leg amputated, like how was it? How did you deal with it? Like after the surgery, like, I suppose like when you first had just one leg, then
Yeah. It was. I still remember like the exact moment that I woke up, which is it was so weird, because like my best friend said that I FaceTimed her and stuff like after my surgery, and I don't remember that part, but I remember like the exact moment I woke up. And I remember my eyes must have been closed, because like I can just remember like the sound and everything, and then like a nurse was saying, okay, like you've had your surgery and stuff, it was a success, and we went through your knee and all this here. Oh yeah, because when I'm into my surgery, I didn't know how much of my leg I was still going to have, but I was like, try to get me through my knee, because that's what I wanted. So they were just like, yeah, you've got that and stuff. But before that, she was like, how do you feel and everything? And I was like, my legs are just like really heavy. Like I feel like they've been like bent all night or something, because I was like in deep sleep or whatever. And she was like, your leg's actually gone. And then that's whenever she started telling me about like the surgery and stuff. But I remember just like laughing and being like, how did I forget that they just chopped off my leg? And then she was like, okay, something about the recovery ward. And then she was like, I'll be back to you in 2 seconds. And I remember just being like, oh, I just want to like see everybody again. So she must have been gone like actually 2 seconds, but I remember for me, it felt like she was away for ages, and my eyes were still closed. But I remember I started belting out like it's the final countdown. So I was there like do and all this here, and like I didn't realize like I was fully in a recovery ward. Like there was probably a whole load of patients beside me, and I just remember coming back and being like, okay, we've got your room. So at this point, I remember like opening my eyes, and it's like looking back, it's all blurry because I was obviously just like out of it, and I remember like a table, and it must have had like nurses or something, or it might have been a desk, I have no idea. But I remember like waving everybody and stuff and being like, see you all later, like thinking I was going home. So I don't know. But yeah, I remember then after that, I think I saw like my parents, and I was just like making jokes and stuff, and then I must have just fell asleep and decided to FaceTime my friend and don't even remember. So, but yeah, I was just like making jokes the whole time and singing songs, I think.
Yeah, when you said there, not to focus on get like graphic, but like you said there, you wanted it like through your knee.
Yeah.
Like for someone like me and like us who probably have no like what does that mean? Like why was that important to you? Was it to be able to like keep the bend, or
So I don't even have the bend anymore, but see, whenever it comes to amputations, most people are either above the knee or below the knee. You don't really find anybody that's through the knee, because I must have just wanted to be different. I'm joking, but like no, for me it was because I didn't want to go through the muscle. I knew that I couldn't have mine below the knee, so the option really was above the knee or through the knee, but it was more than likely going to be above the knee. But I pushed for through the knee then, because it meant then that I could keep like that full like bone
yeah,
and everything. So they were just like going through that. Whereas if they had went above, I would have had to have more recovery time. And I just wanted to like get walking and stuff again. So I was like, get me through the knee. And they were able to give me it. So then I got better really quickly. Just really good, really good.
what?
That sounds
Go on
mad,
ahead.
doesn't it? Did I speak too fast? I'm speaking really fast. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
No,
you're
you're
right.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
How long after that was it before you started walking again? Like, what was that process like?
Um,
Like trying to learn how to walk again? Obviously, it was very difficult. Like, but how long was it sort of before
I
you
love learning to
got back
walk.
to?
So I got my amputation at like Halloween time, and then I remember I was in hospital throughout. Well, I was in hospital maybe for about a week, and then after that I had to go through like different tests and stuff
Yeah.
because they wanted me to do chemo and do the whole like fertility treatment and all that or whatever. But then once I found out that my leg was clear, then they were like, and I basically just turned down my chemo and stuff. But then they were like, okay, then you can start like learning to walk. But by that time it was Christmas and New Year's, so I had to wait for them to pass. And then as soon as it was after New Year's, I was allowed to go in to learn how to walk. And at the time they were saying like it could take like months to a year even or whatever for some people, because like like your legs and stuff can get hurt and all that or whatever, and it's just like hard to learn, especially with being through the knee. So I've still got that like bone and everything or whatever, but like I've still got a kneecap, which is so mad, but I just don't have a leg to bend anymore. So when
Yeah.
I walk with a prosthetic, I have to make that bend every single time I move it and everything. But yeah, I got discharged in 10 days, so they thought I was crazy.
In 10 days,
Yeah, and I spent half that time playing the Wii, honestly.
and they told you it might take you a year.
Yeah, like months to a year.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You
Really
just
fun,
you just like that. Like not. I don't want to be one of these people, but like that just blows my mind, because it's like most people would be like, oh no. Like I know how I would react if I woke up and all that happened. Like I probably wouldn't take it very well. But like you just seem like, so it is what it is. Like where do you think you get that from? Or
Probably my family, maybe. I think, I don't know, maybe it's just like different things that like I've witnessed and stuff, or like things that my family have like had to deal with and everything. So it's like, it just makes you realize like, but even then it's just like realizing there's always someone worse off. So
Yeah.
I just didn't see the point, and I knew that I was going to be okay, and I knew that I could handle it. So I was just, if anything, I was just glad that it was all happening to me and not like one of my brothers or something. So
yeah.
I was just felt like lucky. So it made it okay.
Yeah. That's mad.
It's crazy.
Do you still when you tell that story, like do you find that most people are shocked by that, or are kind of
Yeah.
blown away by?
People think I'm crazy, I think, because of how I handled it. But yeah, it's so weird because like even like thinking about it and stuff, sometimes I'm like, Jesus, I got my leg cut off.
Yeah,
But it's just like funny to think, just to like think about.
yeah.
It's
But
it's one of them things. Was
then
there ever
moving
really a
forward-
time where? Sorry, go on ahead, Ross.
no, go on. No, go on your head. Go on your head,
Oh, thanks.
please.
Was there ever
I
a
feel like-
time where it
I
really
feel like
just
my
set in
internet's
for you?
lagging.
Like we're just hit you.
Honestly,
like,
I think like maybe when coronavirus happened, the first few months was
Yeah.
okay, but I think after the first few months of coronavirus, it was like my first time where I was like suddenly like stuck here and like just like thinking, because basically after I got walked, I got walking. I got sent with my management maybe like 2 weeks after that, and then from that I was basically in England like every single week doing things. So it was like my first time fully being stuck here, and like maybe that was like giving me more time to think about stuff. So I think at that time maybe I was like thinking about it, but I never really got myself down about it. But I think that was probably the most where I've like properly thought about it and everything, and like maybe like things could have been easier and stuff, but at the same time, like I wouldn't change it, and I'm so glad that it's happened, and I'm like able to help other people because of it and everything. And if anything, I'm actually happier since it happened than I ever was before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And just on that, like obviously other people maybe sometimes ask you like how you've dealt with it or whatever. Would you have any advice to give to anyone who's in like a similar situation?
Yeah, I think you just have to try and stay positive and stuff, and just try to think about like the good things from it all. I know that's hard to say and everything, because if someone's finding out they've got cancer or something or whatever, like it's hard to stay positive, but at the same time, not every cancer story has to be a sad story.
Yeah.
And everything, especially even with an amputation, like people will think like their life is over if all of a sudden they're missing a few toes, but in reality it's like you get to have a metal leg. If you fall, you won't even feel it. Like, it's actually amazing. So there's like so many perks. Even in the airport and stuff, like I don't even have to wait in queues. It's like, oh my god, I've no leg. Bypass all that. So there's so many perks. So it's good.
You said in something there, I forget what it was, that you were kind of grateful the fact that you got to like experience 22 years with two legs, and then you get to experience what you're experiencing now.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like it would be harder? Obviously it's hard for you to say, but it's probably easier for you to say because obviously you're different, like from us, in terms of there's people who obviously are born without legs. Do you feel like it would be harder for someone like that to grow up, or
probably something I've like sort of learned through all this happening is like some people that have been born without and everything, I think it's more so just like in schools and stuff, like a lot of kids will have got bullied because of it and everything, because like they're seen as the kid with the difference. But I think like as time's gone on, we're kind of showing that it's like it's okay to be different. Like, see the amount of kids that come to me now and they're like, I want a leg like that. So it's amazing that things are changing, but I think that's definitely something that's still like happening at the minute, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
You sort of mentioned there, like you saying your management, is that with the modeling? Like,
Yeah.
so with the modeling, did you do any modeling like before you got cancer and all, or was it just?
No way. I didn't even have social media for like 5 years. I think like one of my first posts was after I got diagnosed. So it was like.
So how did that come about then? Like, did they come to you, or?
I posted basically whenever I got diagnosed. So I was in hospital about to have my surgery, and I posted being like, right, just letting you all know, not that anyone cared basically, because I had about 2 followers because I didn't use my social media, but I was like, yeah, letting you know like I've got cancer, just like if you're ever worried about something, like get checked, because like if this is happening to me, mine's is like 1 in a million. It can happen to you with like more common ones basically. And then I remember like the day after, I think the day after I posted, and I posted a photo of my foot with like a fluffy bed sock on it, and I wrote, maybe I shrunk because today I woke up a foot shorter, haha, hashtag a pair of socks does me 2 days now. And then like that one post literally like changed it for me. It was crazy. So I remember, I think it was maybe Metro and stuff like that all ended up like in the news, like all people, like news articles all started contacting me, and I ended up talking to my management and stuff, and then they were like saying that they wanted to meet me, and I was like, let me learn how to walk first. So then they messaged me, I think maybe the day that I got discharged from walking as well, and they were like, we have a day coming up in like 2 weeks time or whatever, just letting you know, but we know you might not be walking yet or something like that. And I was like, well, I've actually just like got discharged, so I can walk, so I'll see you in London. And shoots that first day and got signed that day, and the first photo that got released of me ended up in the news like everywhere, so that blew it all up. And then I got that PRIMARK job like 2 weeks after that.
That's crazy.
How did that feel? Because like that's actually quite interesting, because like most people, like the likes of what we're doing at the moment, like we're obviously we started this with the intention of like building it up, whereas like you didn't even have social media. So like most people like kind of, if they start social media, kind of expect this like rise and like this sort of how did I get here, whereas you've just been like from going to have nothing to then just I'm signed by a management. How did that feel? Like, was that not so surreal, like from everything happening at once?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I remember them just feeling like, this is good, like I'm using this for good. I'm gonna like make a difference, or I'm gonna at least try to make a difference. So even like it goes back to like thinking of the kids and stuff, because I remember I went on to my Instagram and I saw a photo of a wee boy and he had Down syndrome and he was modeling, and I was like, I've never seen this before and everything. So that's the only reason basically that I agreed to fly over, because I was like, there's me seeing a kid with Down syndrome and everything, and I'm sure like so many other people will be like inspired by that. And then I was thinking, like, imagine if there is like a wee kid maybe that is like losing their leg or something, or like going through cancer, and they want to like do this, but they feel like they can't because there's no one like them doing it. So I was like, well, I'll fly over and see. And then I got signed and it all happened. So
Yeah. That's crazy. Do you feel like people are, say this in a, like trying to find the nicest way to say it, do you feel like people are awkward around the topic? Like, do you feel like people are scared to bring up the fact of your like leg and sort of chat about it? Because I know at the start we were kind of like, is there anything we can chat about here that you don't want to chat about? Because we're like, coming from us, we're a bit like, we don't want to offend, or we don't want to like, you know, sort of maybe like poke at something that you don't want to talk about. Like, do you feel like people are like tiptoe around the topic? Is that more
tiptoe.
awkward?
I'm
Yeah.
joking. I don't want to make you feel awkward. Sort of. I think a lot of people will see me just being like really open about it and stuff, so a lot of them will just like come to me or whatever, and like they'll see me making a joke or whatever, and then they'll like start making like leg jokes and stuff too. But I absolutely traumatized my friend's wee sister one time. So oh my god, it's a wee bit off topic but kind of on the topic. Like I made like a leg joke or a cancer joke or something like that anyway, and then she like said something to me, or like she made fun of my leg, I think it was, like then after me, because I had just done it 2 seconds before, and I was like, are you serious? Like I lost my leg because of cancer. And her face went so red. And I was like, I'm only joking, Jesus. I was just joking there 2 seconds before you. Like, but no, I won't make them kind of jokes anymore, because I probably give her like PTSD. So but yeah, most people will just joke about it as well, which is really good. And some people that do feel like they have to ask me first, it's good then that they are asking anyway, because it shows that they're like open to talking about it. Because some people, I think it's better than just like avoiding it or acting like it's not there. Not that like this big like blue leg it will be hard to miss, like, but yeah, it's good just to like talk about it.
Yeah.
So like with back to like the modeling, like is it something that like you really want to pursue? Because it's like, or is it something that's just sort of fell into place? Like, are you proper like looking to pursue it as a career now, or?
Yes, it's crazy because it's something that I never thought that I would be doing. And it, like even with the whole like social media thing, like I didn't even really take selfies and stuff. Like I think on my Facebook, my last photo before my leg was like maybe 2013, 2014. So it was like I didn't even like take selfies and stuff. That's why I think there's like 3 photos of me maybe with 2 legs. And even then I was hiding my face and only took them after finding out I had cancer, just to remember what I would look like with 2 legs. But it's like, it's mad because it was something I never ever thought that I would be doing or think that I could do. But whenever I started, I was like, geez, I actually love this. And it's so fun. And it's like the people that I've met and everything through it are just amazing. So I think I definitely want to keep doing it and just see where it goes.
Any big like sort of because you've obviously done PRIMARK. What other stuff have you done?
I think like one of the biggest ones was that Craic one.
Okay.
They're amazing. I think that one's definitely probably the biggest one. What have I done? My mind is on blank.
Well, what one have you enjoyed the most, I suppose?
Definitely that Craic one, definitely. Because I think even just the fact that one ended up in like the news everywhere as well, but like that one like was my first time ended up in like Germany and stuff, and like it was crazy, like the different countries and stuff that I ended up in from that, because mostly I was only ever really like here and like England and like basically like the UK or whatever, but that one got me like everywhere. So that one was good. But then as well, it's like I've done things for like brands and stuff, and sometimes it's like, do you ever get like, you can tell where I've been booked because of my leg and stuff, where it's like there'll be some amazing photos and all of a sudden they'll pick the one photo that's like my leg is right in the middle of the screen. Whereas with Craic, they were like, oh my god, like just hold up the bag and stuff or whatever, and I was like, let me wrap the bag around my leg. So I was like, I was the one that was like getting my leg into the photos, whereas they were just like booking me for me and my story.
Yeah.
So it was like And I'm all for showing my leg anyway, so I love getting to show my leg, but that was the first time where it was like they were fully focused on
Yeah.
me,
Yeah,
which was good.
that's what I was going to say. Do you feel like you get a lot of that because of obviously your story and the fact that like like a lot of these brands now are trying to like focus on like, I want to say like equality, like showing like everybody like our
Yeah.
brand represents it, and you feel like you have like the kind of something obviously different to offer because of that?
Yeah, I think because it's like there's not many people that are like modeling and stuff with prosthetics and stuff, so I think I'm definitely like part of like that wee small bracket. But like at the same time, there's no one really like changing the colors and designs and stuff like the way that I am as well. So I think that sets me apart a wee bit more as well. Like, yeah, I think it definitely just makes me stand out
That's
a wee bit.
That's one thing I was going to
Oh,
say
I'm
was
sorry. I just said another pun.
that's what was
I
that?
just said another pun again by accident. Didn't
That's one
even-
thing. That's one thing I was going to ask you was before we come on this. How many legs do you have? Like
1.5, sure, one's missing.
like oh no. Ignore that. Like how many legs do how many she's done me there. How many legs do you have like to like
change?
like prosthetic legs? Like
Yeah,
truly.
so
Not
I don't know where you're going with that.
but yeah, so I've got two. I've got like one that I use for like outfits and modeling and stuff like that, and my other one is a blade, like a running blade. Just fun.
you seem like you've more like than that because I've seen it a lot. What how does that work?
Yeah, so this is like a whole big thing that I basically like created. So I remember whenever I went in to change or get my very first leg in the hospital, they were like, okay, so like we'll have like this different range of skin colors and stuff and all this here, and I was like, I want mine chrome. I want to look like a robot. And then they were like, we don't do that, but we can give you like carbon fiber silver. And I was like, oh, it'll do for now. But then I remember being like, I was speaking to my daddy, and I was like, I'm not having like a boring leg. I want mine different. Like I want to be like a full on robot. So I remember we were just like planning out different things or whatever, and then we started like trying different things with it. But then we started like settling on wraps. So we would sit and we would like change my leg color. So we got like pink and like what other colors did we do? I can't even remember, but one of the first ones I remember was like the bright pink. And then I was like, we had like people really like that I can like change this and stuff. Like I had Paralympians and stuff messaging me being like, how did you get your leg different like from like last week? Because like prosthetics are so dear. Like people can't afford to have like 1 million prosthetics and stuff. But yeah, so I was doing that, and then I remember being like, okay, so I can do this, but it's not very professional. So I want to make it like better. So I remember I messaged like a car place. I messaged two. So basically the first one I messaged, I was like, do you want to like wrap my leg? And they were just like really confused by it. And I remember they was kind of like, oh, that's a bit weird, but like you can come and talk to us. And I remember at the time being like, and then I messaged Art in Motion, and I was like, do you want to try wrapping my leg? And they were like, oh my God, like I've never done that, but like let's try it. And I was like, okay, they're like excited. So I'm out and I met with them. And I remember at the time I wanted like a color, but I was about to do the whole like MTV thing. And I was like, just give me white for now and we'll just like test it out and stuff. So yeah, I got my leg white with them. And from that, I've been changing my leg color like constantly. So it's like, but no one was ever really doing that before. So yeah. And it's amazing because like then I've had like so many people with prosthetics and stuff that are coming to me and being like, oh, I want to do this or I want to try this. And other people are going to them. And for a good while there, we were offering like a free service where we were letting people get their legs done and everything for free and stuff, and like doing the whole thing, because it's crazy how much of a difference it really makes. So yeah, that was a whole big thing.
So I seen a couple of photos that you're wearing heels in. How does that work? Like, is that really difficult to walk in, or?
I brought heels into the hospital as well. That was one of the things I was learning to walk. I dandered in like my second day with like pair of heels. I didn't dander in, I was 100% in a wheelchair. I was only learning to walk, like, so because I just said I dandered in. But yeah, I brought in a pair of heels and I walked. So yeah, I have a button on my ankle, so basically I can press it in and then just like adjust my foot to like whatever height the heel is as well.
Right.
So I know, imagine me like going in and making my demands. I was like, you're cutting off my leg, I want like a chrome leg and I want to wear a heel. So yeah, end up getting it all anyway. So
Yeah, you said there about the MTV. You were on was it a dating show? Am I right?
no. Well, suppose
sorry.
sort of. It's like it's kind of like a big game of Cluedo. I think it's like there's like
Right.
fake couples and some real couples. or whatever. And I ended up on it. So it was so crazy because like whenever all that happened and I ended up in the news and stuff, like at the beginning, so many shows like reached out to me, and I remember I was just like no. And then whenever, and like some big shows, but then
Do you want to name a few? Or?
like really like exposing people. I don't know, because like one of the biggest ones, I'm still like, part of me is kind of like, that's the only show I'm like maybe someday. But I ended up agreeing to that MTV one anyway, and the reason I did it was because, well, at first I wasn't even sure, but I remember being like, I've never seen someone with a prosthetic on MTV. So then I messaged my friend who's like absolutely mental, and I was like, they want me to do this show or whatever, like, would you want to do it? Because if you're like against it, then I'm not going to do it, but if you think it'd be good for you, then I'll do it with you. And he was like, oh my god, yeah, that sounds so funny. So he became my fake boyfriend, and then we've been done. And I think we met each other maybe like 3 or 4 times before we went into the mansion. And we went into the mansion and we were like acting like we were going out with each other for like a year and a half. And we got voted the most realistic couple, so people thought we were real.
Jesus.
We were getting voted like every single night the most real. In reality, like I think I'd met him like twice before I had even asked him to do the show with me, and 3 times leading up to the show. So it was like,
what did you have
if we didn't,
what
like,
did you have to
know each
do?
other,
Go into this house and basically like
act like we were fully in a relationship. So you had to try and work out which couples were fake and which ones were real. So people were watching you all the time. Every single thing you were saying was being analyzed. It was crazy. Like you can even, like people had, even you were even watching people that were kissing and being like, are they putting that on, or is that like a real kiss? So it was so funny.
how far did you get?
Oh geez, only like 4 days or something. I think it was like filming for maybe a week or so. But yeah, oh, it was like the most awkward thing ever. But yeah, it was really funny. I'm glad we did it because we met like some, like I'm friends with some people for life, definitely from it. But I feel like at the same time, I don't know if I would ever do a reality show again. But that other one show, it's like maybe 10% chance.
What is like the kind of goal for, like, is there anything that if anybody called you up you'd be like absolutely yes 100%?
I don't know, because that's what I mean, like see, even with reality stuff, I don't feel like I would ever do it again. Like even with that other show that I was like considering in the beginning, it's like I feel like even that one still only has like a wee chance of me actually doing it, but it's the same time, like I get offered shows all the time and I'm always just like nope, because it's like I don't feel like I would ever do something like that again. But I'm not against being. I was almost going to drop a hint there, so it's.
We'll get it out of you yet.
She's trying so hard here. Come on.
Okay. I could still end up on TV, but not in a reality show.
Right. Okay.
We'll take that.
Okay. We'll take that. Next week on EastEnders. Never mind. You should.
Let's make it the black taxi on the way.
You should go on the chase.
Oh, I would love to go on the chase. Imagine I end up on the chase after telling my family I've got cancer while they're watching the chase.
You should go on the chase.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna message them. I've been asked to do like other like shows like that and stuff, but never the chase. I imagine me going on and like they ask me one question and I'm like, Jesus, get it wrong straight away.
Yeah.
Ruin my whole life.
Have you been offered to do like a documentary or anything about the whole thing? I know you done that one. It's on like YouTube, but like it's just.
Yeah.
Is this like the type of thing we asked you? Do you not want to talk about anything? And now we just keep asking you these questions.
Maybe one of them. I've been asked to do documentaries like a lot, but at the same time I was kind of like having a break from like talking about like everything in a wee way.
Yeah.
But I'm asked for that. It's maybe part of something.
You're hard to crack here, la.
Yeah.
We said before you come on, we're like, anything you don't want us to mention, you're like, no, go ahead. Like I'm an open book, and now we're kind of like digging into stuff, and you're like, no. How dare you ask this information?
It's all like leading. It's like one big thing basically. But you're asking questions about like one thing basically that it's like sort of a secret. I haven't fully been told it's a secret. Usually it's like you cannot speak about this until it's out. but it's still like in the planning sort of things. It's like confirmed, but it's like planning. So it's like I
Yeah.
don't know what I can
No,
actually
fair
talk about.
enough.
I'll see when I announce it, I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna put it on my thing, on my story or whatever post I'm doing. I'm
We'll
gonna tag
hold
yous.
you to that, huh?
Yeah, you can help
Yeah.
me.
You can tag us, like. We'll be happy enough if it's big enough. Even if it's like a documentary or whatever, what we'll do is, even if you're happy enough, like, can you, like, you know, the way you're saying about like wrapping your leg and stuff, can like you have full customization, like, do you have full control over that? So
Yeah,
if we send you across our logo, like,
oh my god, you should make me some kind of like bet. Like you said you play Warzone or something, like make me some kind of a bet. And if I lose, then I have to get like your logo on my leg. And then I'll be a walking out advertisement.
deal. Here, it's hard enough getting people to like tag us and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. If I think like, you know, it would just be a good argument then, like in the future, where people are like, no, I'm not tagging you in anything. We're like, well, look what she's done for us.
Yeah, she like kicked it out of the park.
I know.
So
That's mad. But I think one thing, as I say, like, is quite cool is the fact that you are such an open book about the whole thing. Like, you're happy enough to chat, and like, do you like getting on to sort of like, obviously using like what's happened as like a positive thing? Like, do you get a lot of messages from people to say like, oh, you've really, because we're talking about this sort of like influencer stuff beforehand, and do you feel like that's kind of like, do you get messages from people who've maybe gone through the same experience and like you've been such a help?
oh yeah, like it's amazing. I think it's definitely what makes it like worth it. I get a lot of messages from people literally from all over the world, and they're like saying that I've helped them in different ways and stuff. Like something that I always just feel like stands out is like a lot of the time people will say like, you showing your leg has helped me like show my scars, and I was born without a hand and now I feel like I'm okay with showing that and stuff, because like you're able to show that you have no leg. But yeah, it's amazing. Like it's just crazy, because I think it's like I was hoping I could maybe help like one person and stuff, but I'm so lucky that I get like so many people messaging me and stuff. Like even maybe like a few weeks ago there, I got contacted by the Cancer for Children, basically. There was a wee boy, and him and his family had like heard about me and stuff. So he just found out just after turning 11, I think it was, just found out that he had got diagnosed with cancer and that he had to have his leg amputated. So it's like a week later then he had his leg amputated. And he wanted to meet me. And like I remember at the time, like they were saying that like the social workers and stuff that you get whenever you get diagnosed and stuff weren't even allowed into like the hospital to see him and stuff. But his mummy went to like his oncologist and was like, he really wants to meet her, please like let her in to see him. And then they allowed me in, so I got to go meet him and stuff. And then whenever I was there and everything, like he was asking me so many questions and stuff about it and everything, and he was like saying about how he wanted like a leg like mine, but the hospital game were just like, oh, you can fire a few stickers on it. And I was like, no, that's not good enough. And he was like, I know it's not good enough. So like he'll not watch this because he's only a kid, so I can like say wee things. But I remember at the time being like, okay, so like what's your favorite color? And he said purple. So like my next leg color, I never tell people my leg colors before I like do it, so you're still kind of getting a wee bit of an exclusive basically. But my next leg color is going to be purple, and that's because it's his favorite color. So I'm going to be doing that for him just to like surprise him and stuff. But then as well, the leg like design that he wants, he didn't think that he could have it. And whenever he gets his leg now, we're going to like design his whole leg for him so he can still get the leg that he wants and stuff. So it's good then, because it's like it's helping people in that way. And then like he was like not really sure about things and felt a wee bit nervous and stuff because he's only a kid and he's having to go through this whole big change and stuff. But then he was like telling all of his friends about me and like meet me and stuff, and like they're all really excited for him to get his leg and stuff and like to be kind of like me, and it's amazing. So yeah,
That's class, huh?
yeah, he's so lovely.
It's cool the way like that you're getting them excited about something, you know, that's obviously there's so many people that would be so like horrible, but like you're like getting them excited about getting his prosthetic leg, and like he could have it whatever way he wants. So
yeah, that's like the whole thing. It's like his family and stuff was saying like his mummy, I met her and she was just saying like he wasn't really sure about things and he might stay quiet and stuff, but even she was surprised that he was like asking me things. And then like she made like a wee group chat with us like on WhatsApp, so like it's me, him and her, and then even then he was like writing in wee things, and then if he wasn't feeling well and stuff he was messaging me still just to be like, oh, I'm not feeling too well and stuff. And then I was saying to her and she was like, that's so amazing, he actually feels like he can like speak to you about it all. So yeah, it's all worth it.
Unreal.
Yeah, I suppose looking back at obviously all that, you're looking at that and thinking like at least you have used that as like a positive thing, and like I'm sure that like he'll not be the only one. Like there'll be plenty of other people, especially going forward now. Um, do you feel like one thing is like the TikTok, because obviously like TikToks came out after like a brave while after obviously everything that happened with you. Do you feel like whenever you hopped on that it was really easy to grow, or like because you are
Hopped
like
on
some
that.
of your some of your
I'm sorry, I'm like making it hard.
why
for
are you targeting me with this?
It's so funny because like Ross is the most awkward person ever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
so
gonna
awkward. I just
you're
I'm,
you're
like,
gonna
making
leave
it
you're gonna
uncomfortable.
leave this call and I'm gonna be like, she hates me. She hates me. Um
Oh, it's funny. I'm doing it on purpose because I can tell it's making you awkward.
no, it's
Keep
not.
doing it, please.
But like, yeah, going back, like your TikToks are quite like just like out there in terms of like some of your TikToks. I was watching them are quite funny because you just are kind of like taking the piss.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what sort of response do you get? People negatively responding to that, like as if like who just like what she thinks she's doing or something along lines that there? Because there'll always be one person.
Not really on TikTok. I think someone else asked me this here recently, I think it was, and they were like, do you get much hate and stuff? But like I don't really get hate. If anything, it's more so see on like if I end up on like Facebook news somewhere, usually it's like in there people I know will end up tagging me in things that I'm like a part of or something. And then obviously when I'm clicking onto that, then I'm seeing like some of the hate comments and stuff about me. So I would think most of like the hate that I would get would be more so on Facebook. But even then it's like funny. It's like funny things. But on TikTok it's like people usually, if anything, they just like they either think it's funny or they're on the other side where they're just like completely confused, or they think that like I'm like lying about my leg. I get accused of lying about my leg a lot, by the way, as well. Mostly from like Facebook people. So yeah.
Why do you think Facebook in particular?
I don't know. I think it's usually like really old men and they're just like
That's what I wanted you to say, because
yeah.
in my head I was thinking like it's bound to be old geezers, like, and then
Yeah.
I didn't want to stereotype.
Because I actually made one TikTok before about it. But whenever I ended up, I think maybe a lot of people posted me with the Craic one, and I remember some man commented on it, and he was like, "Oh, this is disgusting. I hope all the women with 2 legs no longer shop here and stuff, and all this here and stuff," as if like people actually like heard what he was going to say. But then I posted on TikTok because it was actually funny because he was thinking that like people weren't going to shop there anymore, and in reality, like Craic has had deals and stuff with celebrities and all the rest of it, and have had like all these paid things, and I was their biggest ever story to date. So it was like I was just someone from Belfast that did a FaceTime photo shoot, and ended up their biggest ever story in the world. So, and he thought that people weren't going to shop there. Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah. So
I take it you don't let any of that get to you. Like, it's like obviously you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot more than just some stupid idiot commenting on
yeah,
a Facebook post.
half the comments are just so funny. You know what's actually crazy though? See, I think it was actually maybe on Instagram. Some news I think made a comment about me. And even then, like if there was some like hate comments and stuff, like so many people, I was seeing people replying to it that I follow and they follow me, but it's people that I probably haven't even like spoken to since school or whatever. Like they might have just been in a few of my classes and stuff, and they're on like fully defending me and everything. And I think if anything, it's made me realize like you actually have like so many like silent supporters and stuff. If I hadn't clicked on to like something that I've been tagged in, then I wouldn't have even realized. So I think if anything, it just things like that make me realize like I've actually got like so much more support than I probably even realize. So yeah, it's always good. Imagine I come out with a whole big like haters are my motivators. Don't hit the game.
Inspiration. I wouldn't be here without my haters.
Yeah. I'm just going to change my Instagram bio just to that. I'll get that on my leg actually with your logo.
There you go. So it's funny because like someone will probably listen to that and be like, "Oh my god, like I can't believe he asked her to do that." Like
no, but here I've had that idea for a while. Like, see, I've like pitched that and stuff to like some other people that if I've had a photo shoot for things and stuff, I'm like, by the way, just saying, like I know you're sending me your stuff and everything for this photo shoot, but like I have a fully customizable leg, so like I can get my your logo on my leg if you want. And they're like, oh, just do whatever. I'm like, well, I really want like I want to like have the chance to like fully design that in a way that like would be good for that. So I've always had the idea. So like, you can be the first one.
Like we're crowning that.
Yeah.
Make sure if after this comes out, someone messages you and like, here, we want to do that. Just be like, no.
That idea's taken.
You have like a wee calendar or something. Just your workflow.
Yeah. It's like, do you ever get if you have like a brand deal or something and it's like, have this up for like at least 3 months and stuff? I'll be like, well, actually, this leg has been taken for 3 months.
Yeah.
After we fill in.
I've been booked by
Yeah.
the Craic. I love how you're saying, do you ever know when I'm about a brand deal? And we're just like, yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, myself,
So many.
I didn't even think about it like
So many brand deals.
that. Well,
I
you're
call it.
just getting started, so as well.
No, we never
What would
know.
be
Always
like your dream brand deal?
I don't
That's
know.
That's such
like,
a good. That's,
That's
so
such a
I
good
think that's the first time someone's actually asked us like a question, like a guest. Like.
yeah,
I put you on the spot.
you full Uno reverse card us there.
Yeah. Told you at the beginning before we
Gymshark would
even
be
started.
class. Like.
I was all like, I'm going to bring the plot twist. And I did it.
There you go.
See?
I'd say Gymshark
Gymshark.
would be sick.
That would be good. Be really
We're
good.
real fitness fanatics. Like
We're just
Really?
no.
I'm so
Not that, like,
She's like,
Are you not
she's
worried?
like,
Did we get away
really?
with that?
it doesn't mean I'm necessarily fit. Like.
It was the way she responded there. Like, we're fitness fanatics. And I was like, pause. She's like, really? You are?
I didn't. Yes, because she's all just went like so silent as if you're so joking. So I was
No,
like,
no,
"Well, I
no,
can
no.
see it- I
This
can
is
see
this
it
is
over
my
and
this
things."
is my time. You've you've pulled out a reverse card
No,
about me
we're not.
insulting you about your leg. Now I'm putting you on the spot.
I think like a really good
Um,
one for you to probably be like some kind of like computer thing or whatever, since you're like, doing like a podcast, like headsets or like microphones and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
a streaming kind of setup.
You can
Which-
be our,
Wait.
you can be our agent and get all these deals in for us.
I'm gonna put you forward.
I think something like Northern Ireland like
Yeah.
based would be cool if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like-
You've done loads of stuff with that OI or I, haven't you? Like
Oh yeah, they're so nice.
we've got him coming on. The
Next
owner.
week.
That's
Slash-
exclusive.
Well, that's exclusive.
What is he like? The managing director? What would
I'm
you
getting the
call him?
exclusives and everything.
Yeah.
How did you really turned that round? You ended up getting an
Yeah.
exclusive off us.
You're going to regret having me on.
What was it like working with them? Like a local
it
sort of
was-
business?
Yeah, they're so lovely. It's crazy how that's worked out because I met them. There was like a big event here and they had a stall. And I remember just like walking past and they were just explaining who they are. And I bought like this jumper from them. And I think I was in Manchester or something for like a job of some sort anyway. And I got a photo with this jumper. And then I just decided to write like a big thing being like, these are amazing. They donate like to like the homeless and stuff for every product bought and everything. And that was before like they didn't know who I was or whatever. But like I just knew about them from talking to them at the stall. And I just tagged them. And I just didn't think anything of it. Just went about like my job and stuff or whatever. And then they ended up getting like in touch with me, I think a wee while after. And then they were like, we want to send you something or whatever to like promote. And I was like, no way. It's amazing. So then I was a part of like their dreams collection. And then after that, I went and we had like a whole big thing because we were like planning like the giveaway and stuff. This was like a long time ago, like before I'd even modeled from them, like the end of last year. So this was ages and ages ago. I met with them and we had the idea for the giveaway and stuff. And then, yeah, they were like, the reason that they decided they wanted to work with me was because they were like, we obviously had like approached people and stuff about things, but you were like one of the only people that's ever promoted us without asking for anything.
Yeah.
You were happy just to promote us in like your own way, and that's what you wanted to do. So they were like, we know then that you're the right person to have as like part of this, because it's showing that you actually care about like things the way that we do. Because I was like, they're helping the homeless, like we should help them grow as well. Whereas some people probably were like, oh yeah, I'll take the money for a job or whatever, like help the homeless. So I think
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think so. Me literally just like buying from them and promoting them, I ended up doing like that big giveaway with them and stuff, and then like modeling for them, and then like I'm part of like their wee team now. So not like part of their team, like I'm not like working for them, like, but
Yeah.
like I'm part of the OI family.
Do like what is your sort of general week look like in terms of like, you seem quite busy, and like would you say like obviously moving forward like you're more sort of, I know you have your agent and stuff, but would you sort of self-manage a lot of that? Like would you find yourself being a lot more want to say like entrepreneurial.
Yeah, I think probably a wee bit more than I probably should, like, because it gets me stressed sometimes. Because like I'll get offered like a lot of like things like with brands and stuff, and then it's like working out which ones I want to do or whatever, like which ones are actually like best for me and stuff. But then again, then you're having to like negotiate things, and like not every brand will want to like offer you money off the bat and stuff. Like I'm lucky that like most do, but like some are straight away just trying to like send this for free, but like do like 16 videos. And it's like, calm down, Jamal, don't pull it. You even know that TikTok? No? Never mind, actually. I was like going straight into like TikTok thing. But yeah, like my management, they get like a lot of jobs for me as well, but then it's like I get like a lot for me, and then like my management here as well. So it's like there's always like stuff being offered. It's just picking out what I want to do.
You just sort of went that full time, like you don't have a job or anything, like
No,
you're
like
not employed anywhere anymore?
Yeah, like that's like my main thing. Like I've done like other jobs alongside it and stuff. But that's like the main thing that I would do. Yeah, I'm lucky.
I seen a thing you worked in a bookies or something before.
Yeah, I worked in a bookies before all this. It's crazy.
Because I that's where I work now at the minute. Well,
Oh, really?
I've been working. Yeah.
Which one are you
in Boyles in Armagh.
Oh, I was for Sean Graham.
Oh, Sean Graham. Yeah, well, I actually used to work for a place that used the same computers and all the time, but
Rivals.
it's a long old job. Like it's long hours. Like.
Yeah, literally, we didn't even get a break and stuff. You were literally like,
yeah.
If you're working alone, you can't even go to the bathroom. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd say you're far out of what you're in now at the minute.
Yeah, I tried to go back. I worked until like 2 days before my surgery, I think, and I tried to go back to work like the week after. It was crazy, but there was like steps into it and stuff, and I was in like one small shop, so it was like I physically can't get in right now with this here like massive like cocktail sausages on the leg. So
yeah,
it was really swollen.
No chance.
No.
One thing that I'm just gonna get this out of the way, like with regards to you say it there earlier on about the whole movement of your leg, and I feel like we're going very like back and forward with this conversation, but see if you like, do you have one position for your leg, and then if you want to do like some other activity, you have to like change it about like manually with your hands, or like what way does that work? Is that not really awkward?
No, so it's like the way that I walk, so it's like all like a balance thing. So I think the reason because people get so shocked and stuff that I walk, people get really shocked that I'm not a below the knee amputee, because a lot of the below the knee amputees, because they're bending their leg themselves, they'll not really have like much of a limp or anything like that. So anything sort of 3 or above most of the time will have some form of a limp. So people get really shocked and stuff that I don't. Like if I have jawers and stuff, people don't even realize like my leg's missing. And I think the reason that, like I said before, I've spent half my time playing on the Wii when I was in the hospital. So there's like a balance board, and for maybe for like skiing or something, I can't remember. But like that was the reason that like I'm able to walk sort of like good. So I just made sure that I was like evenly balancing out my weight on each leg, so then that when I'm walking, like that makes it better. So that was like the base of it. So then whenever I actually walk to bend my leg, I have to go on the toe. So then when I go on the toe, it like makes it bend, and when I go on the heel, it locks the leg out. So it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like that will be like bending when I go on the toe, and whenever I go on my heel, it like locks out. It's like straight. I don't know, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Example. I have a video on my TikTok though. It's not me plugging my own TikTok. Didn't mean to, I'm just trying to explain. But yeah, so it's like I don't know, maybe I can show you my leg here, obviously because I don't really know how to show you. So it's like this will stay straight basically until I make it bend, but whenever I go on my toe, it'll bend, but whenever I lock it out, it automatically like locks sturdy like that. But yeah, so then when I walk, I just basically make sure to like go on my toe, on my heel, on my toe, on my heel, like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. That would take me forever to like learn how that. And you said you learned all that from the Wii? More
or less, yeah. Like I walked like down the wee catwalk thingy. It's so funny because like, you know what's so mad? I absolutely like foreshadowed my whole life. I didn't even realize I foreshadowed it until like a year later. But whenever I was learning to walk, I took a Snapchat in the hospital. And I didn't even post it. I literally just saved it or something, or sent it to one of my friends or something. And I did a thing, and it was like the wee catwalk we were learning to walk inside the bars. And I was like, look at my catwalk, and then I ended up getting same with an agency like 2 weeks later. But then like my style of walking, apparently there's like styles of walking, didn't even realize that either. But my style of walking apparently is called like the catwalk, because like I walk like very.
You were made for the model.
Of, like, it's weird. It's meant to happen.
Not that.
She foreshadowed everything.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I think we've asked you, and probably done more than asked you, everything about your life and your leg and everything. Like, and you've also pulled the card and asked us about stuff. You've got me thinking now. We're gonna be like, we're gonna be on like PlayStation later, and I'm gonna be like it's gonna be like 11 o'clock, and be like, I was thinking about what she said, and I don't even have an answer for you right now, Ayla. I don't even know. When we're
Figure
famous, we'll
back in.
come back to this moment.
Yeah. And then you can get my logo on use. I don't have a logo, but I'll actually plan one out just for that occasion.
I feel like that would be
Yeah.
tattooed
Imagine
on
you
us.
actually bring out some kind of like Warzone tournament and stuff, and then like the winner of that tournament, whatever they all pay to like enter the tournament, the winners win that money, but then they can also choose my next leg design. Oh my god, wait, that actually fits because like the whole like Alex having a prosthetic leg. They'll do and get your logo.
I feel like that would work fine for you. I'm not sure how well that would work for us. I have a feeling that we would be on the Nolan show probably with people complaining about it. These three lads have exploited this girl and her prosthetic leg just for followers. It's like, oh dear.
It's okay, I put myself into that position.
I think we'll probably end on that whole Warzone thing. Are you streaming, or are you planning on streaming? Is that like another avenue you're wanting to like go down, or?
Well, I like playing games, so I think I'll definitely stream sometime. I'm not good, but my brothers are really good, so if anything, I'll be streaming probably just to show everyone that they're good. So.
And is it just for the pure reason that you like gaming that you're going to be streaming, or do you feel like there's kind of like your entrepreneurial spirits coming out there, and you're like, I see an opening?
I think like gaming is kind of like in my family, I think, sort of. So I think it's like more so that. But then sure, if it turned into something, then that's still good. So we'll see.
Fair enough. If you're a big streamer, we'll be sure to watch you.
Thanks.
You could host Tom. You could host Thomas and his.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
But
I'll follow you, Thomas. What's your Twitch? I'll follow you right now.
Plug it.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Tell us your Twitch. I'll reshare this too.
It's Tom by. I think it's Tom by TTTV. It's TTTV or something.
Oh, you have TTV in your thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you're sweating.
Shots fired.
He's sweating.
I think
Wow. Thanks. Yes.
He made his own logo and all too.
There
Absolutely.
you go.
Plug
They're
it.
famous, like.
You made it, Thomas. Fame. That's you. Fair enough. I feel like, is there anything else we could talk about? I don't think so. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And anything that you're doing in the future, we'll be sure to follow and support you.
Thank you. I'll be supporting you
Obviously,
too.
with our pre-arrangement of the brand deal on the leg, we'll need to be keeping in with you.
We'll send the contracts and all over after this.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And in all seriousness, what you're doing is class. So keep it up. And like, obviously, if you're doing positive things, the future will obviously be as bright as possible. All that there, Jazz. And just good luck.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to seeing what you do in the future and all that there. So thank you very much for coming on.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So see you
Cheers.
later.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.